Jan, your parkour is quite unusual. You used to specialize in long speed skating, but now you help athletes combine faith and athletics on a very high level. Did I make a mistake?
No, you're absolutely right. That's me.
So if I say that you have an unusual parkour, it's also because you decided to end high-level sports at the age of 22. Because on a personal level, you decided that it was incompatible with your Christian belief. However, the sports values seem quite similar with Christian values. Could you please explain?
Yes, I can. When I was younger, I think I was struggling to make the combination sport and faith because both things usually happen on a Sunday and they take up some of your time. So in the church context where I was, it always felt like you either choose for sports or for faith.
And you chose faith.
Yes, I did. But it was a difficult choice.
And so today, as you're helping other people walk their sports walk and their faith walk together combined, do you sometimes wonder whether if you had received the same advice, you would have made a different choice?
I get this question a lot, and if I would have known what I know now, I would have probably made a different decision, but I never regret my decision.
Yes, because today, actually, you are quite influential with many athletes and high-level athletes.
Yes, actually, God has made me into the person that I would have loved to meet when I was in my professional career.
So, Jan, it sounds like your mission is quite similar. So, having been a high-level athlete, does that help you?
Yes, it definitely helps to relate to what the athletes are going through. Also, just to build the relationships.
So it's true that building a relationship enables you to have this trust, this foundation of trust, which enables the other person to open up to me so that we can correspond in exchange.
Yes, the whole key in this ministry is building relationships.
Your commitment shows how we can combine being an athlete with serving NGOs. And in order to accomplish the assistance to these NGOs and their values, you take up amazing, incredible challenges. So I'm almost hesitant to say it because I wonder whether we're going to believe what I'm just about to reveal. So last year, Jan, last month, you decided to run 14 marathons in 14 days.
Yes, I did.
Is that a bit eccentric side of you by any chance?
Yes, it's the bit of the weird part that lives inside me. I just like to suffer.
You like to suffer?
In sports, yes.
Can you please explain a bit more about how you came to this conclusion?
Well, I've always been good in sports that require a lot of endurance. And what I discovered is that when you go through certain pains, through certain challenges, it always makes you a better person when you come out of it at the other end. So that's probably why I like suffering. Not so much the suffering, but the result of the suffering.
It's not so much because you enjoy suffering in itself, but it's more because you want to overcome your mindset and you want to be able to embrace the end result.
Yes, it's truly. I truly believe that if you can overcome these sufferings, that you can grow.
It sounds like being at the school of life. Sports is often combined and compared to life itself.
Yeah, I've heard somebody say that sports is life on a small scale, or like compressed.
And in a similar vein, having faith is almost like it requires a lot of sports, and you also have to be able to overcome it. How does God, being a Christian, really come into the equation and enable you to accompany all of these people that you help?
Well, like, I think especially for athletes, having that person of trust and that person that loves them unconditionally in their life is really. And then, with Christian faith, we know that God is the only one that can love us unconditional. So if we can bring that God inside of us to the athletes to love them unconditional, that is a really big thing for them. Because in sports, everything is about how you perform. So there's not a lot of, or actually no unconditional love. It's only about the performance.
How do you envision sports and faith? Are these two things that walk along side by side, or does one come before the other? How exactly is it? Can you unpack it for us?
Yes, for an athlete, I think when I was younger, I found that God gave me a body with a talent for sports. So definitely God comes first. But if He gives you a talent, it should have a purpose. And the first thing I think is that it is to honor God with it.
What do you mean by honoring God with it?
Well, I always share the example of my daughter. She started skating 5 years ago. She's now 10 on the natural ice here in the Netherlands. One day she goes out and there is this man on the river, close to the river. And when he saw my daughter, he said, "Oh, she's good. Is she a daughter?" And of course, as a father, I said, "Yes, definitely." I was a proud father at that moment. I was proud because I saw her do what she was meant to do, what she was getting pleasure out of. And I truly believe that God looks upon like that as a father when we do what we are made to do.
But then again, we need to understand what our purpose is, right?
Yes, but it's somewhere close to the things that we love to do most of the time.
That's amazing. You're giving us a gold nugget right there. In the things that we enjoy and love doing, there's probably our purpose, which is intertwined.
Most of the times, yes. I truly believe that.
Yeah, and how did you prepare for this challenge that you're going to start as of tomorrow?
Well, of course, I have trained a lot. I've run over like 100 Ks more per week. Training, and then how you feed yourself, keep like the energy, getting your energy. And then third thing is mental training. How do you deal with tired legs and still going to run?
Is this something that you do alone or do you do it accompanied by someone else?
So training, most of it I do alone, but I have some good friends who are also in ultra running that help me a little here and there.
How do you feel today?
Ready to run.
For what aim?
So with this run, I hope to create awareness for the power of sports and faith. What can happen if they come together?
So I'm guessing that you're also going to have to surpass yourself.
Yes, this is something I have never done before for this long time. So yes, I will have to go further than I've known.
Effective. So we're talking about sports in this element, but what about your faith?
Yes, I'll take my faith everywhere I go, especially in sports, and we are also really making this a pilgrimage. So people can join us in prayer. They can pray every day for the world of sports. We're making a prayer journey for them online, and so they can. There's a prayer going on during the Olympics for sport and faith.
Yeah, and it's such a great exploit that you're about to start undertaking as of tomorrow. I just want to remind everyone it's 14 marathons in 14 days. Is it a way for you to also testify of your faith? And also, is it an act of worship that you're making public?
Yes, definitely. Thank you for the reminder. For me, you know, when we read Romans 12, verse 1, it says to give your body as a living sacrifice. And then it ends with, this is your true and proper worship. So for me, to live my life as a living sacrifice, it means to do sports in a way that is honorable to God. So I think, I don't know in France, but here in the Netherlands, I think when we say we do worship, we think about going to church, singing songs, doing prayer time, that kind of stuff. But this verse makes the word worship a lot bigger, a lot richer. So it means we can live our lives as a way to worship God, and so also we can do sports in a way that it is worship to God. It goes back to Eric Liddell, who won the Olympics in 1924, the Olympic gold medal, saying, "When I run, I feel God's pleasure." It's worship. You worship God, and it's between you and God. Eric Liddell was feeling God's pleasure because he was worshiping God with his sports. So this is the answer to the question you asked. How do I take my faith into the sports? This is because it's worship, and then from worship, people will notice. When you're worshiping God, people will see, and you will be asked to give a testimony of your faith.
Thank you so much, Jan, for summing it up so well. I was wondering whether this is part of a prayer request that you might have. Would you like us to also pray for your family? Or do you have any other prayer requests that you could let us become aware of?
Yes, so this all is done on a very low-key, low budget. So there's a lot of challenges to overcome. So that's a prayer point. Also, of course, the health of me and the other people joining. And also maybe this is a little bit bold, but also not really also a prayer request, but also a practical question. this whole journey started when I found out that there is a marathon pour tout. So after the Olympic marathons, there's a chance for every amateur runner to
Do-
run the marathon. And so maybe somebody's listening, because I didn't get a number to start this marathon, but maybe somebody there's listening who is not able to make use of his number and can give me the opportunity to run the Olympic marathon. So finish the 14 and make it 15. Thank you.